game yet, let alone enter the end. Well, let me prove you wrong on one of these points with attempt 17. It's an island spawn where I find a shipwreck pretty quickly, do some of the basic overworld stuff, and get a 7-minute nether enter through a magma ravine. I get to a housing bastion instantly, but somehow nearly die to the dumbest series of interactions I've ever seen. I also do the most random bastion route I've ever seen, but I somehow survive it and I get to the fortress. I managed to measure my eyes, making this the official PB of the challenge so far. Also, this is a tool called NinjaBrainBot and Jingle that tells me where the stronghold is. It's totally legal to use in speedrunning, and if you're curious about it, my speedrunning video covers that totally. Too bad I mess up my eye measures and literally dig around the stronghold to go below it, then above it before going back down. I tried a preemptive or whatever this is called to the portal room, but honestly, I just don't know how to yet. And finally, I find the portal room to get to the end. If I kill the dragon here, this will officially be the first time I kill the dragon in this challenge. Too bad I set up the perch for the one cycle wrong by standing on the wrong side of the island. This made it realistically impossible for a beginner like me, and after a couple failed perches, I ran out of food and beds and am forced to manually blow up the crystals. And I managed to die of fall damage by walking off a 3-block pillar backwards. This was a 51-minute run, by the way, and one thing was very clear.
I clearly need more practice. I just need to get better.
So, that's exactly what I did. I started multitasking, learning more and more speedrunning tech while practicing Hardcore 100. It was leading me to hitting insane clips like this one, where I just stood still and died, and this one. Dude. But finally, after so much practice, it finally happened. I completed my first run, sorta. Let me explain. The run started in a village seed where I got some decent loot and started bowing to a ruined portal. I should mention here before we go any further that I'm in a call with a gang and I had yet to buy my Shure mic, so I was still using my Blue Yeti, which would break and just sound like this sometimes.
Gosh, I make one stupid mistake in the nether.
But there were a couple of interesting things I talked about in this run. For instance, this was the first time Cindius, one of my friends, had heard me talk about this challenge.
In a row?
In a row without dying, no resetting worlds.
You're faking it.
No, I'm just not.
Why don't you just fake it?
Why don't I just fake the challenge run? Because then it's not a challenge.
You imagine you get a 99, you fail.
I'm faking that. Yeah, I'm faking
yeah,
that.
I'm about to
Yeah, I'm faking that.
The overworld for the rest of this run was relatively speaking basic, and it led to a 6-minute nether enter that led me to a bridge bastion relatively quickly. The trading and looting went well, which took me to a nearby fortress, and once again, everything went smoothly with the only real issue being I was low on food. But now that I was able to measure my eyes, surely that wouldn't be an issue, and I'm leaving without getting food. Right. I get to the stronghold pretty fast, which was helpful mainly because it was ocean exposed. Now, I still had no food, and I proceeded to get the luckiest possible routing on this stronghold. I got to the portal room and finally started cooking food and killing some fish. And now, with food, 11 beds, and even a short pause to warm up, oh, that's a bad omen, I actually set up the one cycle properly, and when the dragon perched, all I needed to do was hit it. Too bad it was too late to stop the dragon from perching. One failed one cycle later, the dragon perched again,